Alright, we're over here at the press. Got all my tools over here. So here's our valve guides. Get our head. Lubricant. Okay, now to get the guide out, we got to press it out. So I use this tool here to press on. And you press it into a tube. The tube goes right around the head right over here. It supports the head. The guide, and you flip it over, put that right there, and you press it straight out the bottom. Just like it comes in, it goes back out. You push it straight in this way. Sometimes there's oversized out here and it screws the hole up. You press it out this way. If there's carbon on it, it causes problems. That's why I blasted these. And sometimes they still stick and gull up as they come out. The exhausts like to do that. If it does that, you got to stop, go back and forth a couple times, free up the gull mark, and then shove it through. It screws the hole up. You got no choice. Just doesn't matter how bad it screws it up. Okay, when you go back in, I got a pressing tool. I got this one here, which goes in this height. And I got this one here, which goes in that height. So this is for high lift cam. This is for stock cam. This is for stock applications. So you want to use this on this job. You can also put washers under here to get custom heights too, if you want. Alright, so that's how those work. Alright, so it's going to do it. See what happens. First thing I do is put a little CRC here, lubricant on the guides. On this side, just to lubricate a little bit. It helps a little bit, surprisingly. Not much, just a little. Push these out, see what happens. Alright, we'll be up here on the press over there. Out. Came out cleanly. That was the intake. Here's the exhaust. It's coming out real hard. I guess it's galling a little bit. It's not about that far, but I don't want to come out. It's really wadding up, you can tell. So put a little CRC in right in there. Put a little more over here on the back side where this one is now. This one I'm sure is going to gull up a little bit. Get this down a little lower, you might be able to see better. Can't tell. Okay, this one I'm going to push it back in, so I'm going to use this to push against on the other side. So I can shove it back in a little bit. Okay, flip it over and try pushing it out again. Okay, I took about half the pressure there to what it was. Let's see what kind of damage we did. Yep, it gulled up. I figured it did. So you can see how it's stuck right there, coming out. Tried to a little bit on this side, it really stuck up hard right there. That's why I pushed it back in and came back out again. So you like to do that a lot. Screws up the holes. Wonderful. Not much you can do about it, it just happens. Happens a lot. Intake, they come out pretty cleanly. Like I said, if you push them in this other way, a lot of times these are oversized up here and it screws the guide up hole coming out that way, so either way it screws up the hole. Okay, so I'm going to use a 1/over guide on the exhaust, obviously, and we'll use a standard on the intake. Okay, so on this one, let's come back over here. You can look in the guide hole and see if there's any damage in there. These you don't really see much. They look like crap most of the time anyway. So anyway, I doubt if you can really tell anything. Okay, so which one is the standard? Let's see, it's marked 1, I guess. Marked 0. Maybe 0 standard. It says 1/over on that package, so I'll go get a mic. That way I know what I'm using. It helps to know which size you're going to shove into a hole. So get these boxes over here. 62 should be standard, so that'd be 12. That looks to be standard. This one here should be 1/over, which is 1 thou bigger. 13. There you go. Standard 1. Now we know for sure we got. Okay, this is the exhaust guide right here. Do this intake first. Take an intake guide. Now what I do is I beat these in with this a little bit. Now you can't beat these in or out because this has a real thin wall to it and it shatters and breaks off. I get in there, kind of align it so it goes in straight, and then I can press it straight in. Pressing, you have very, very low feel. That means you can't tell what the hell you're doing. You just tell you're pressing on something. So it's really hard to tell if you're doing it right or not. If you do it wrong, it actually shears off the guide from pressure. Or cracks it, and when you're trying to hone it, there's a big high spot there and it falls off. One of those deals. Okay, you put a little bit of lube on here. That's enough. Stick in the hole. Put it where you kind of think center is. Give it a couple whacks just to make sure you're in the right area. Kind of self-centers. Now you can just go ahead and push it in. We're going to use this tool here to do the pushing. And I'll use that other piece in the bottom I had before, the bigger one. That one over in the corner I just got done using. And we'll push it in until this touches the bottom. Then we'll measure what the height is. Use this one here. I'm on the intake, wrong side. So you want this thing to kind of self-center. Just go down a little ways, let off the pressure, recenter it. Give one little crank. That way you don't break the guide off. Okay, we just bottomed out. Pressure is strictly by feel. So you have to feel what you think it works good. Okay, now the guide's all the way in there now. Oops, here we can see it. My scale so I can measure it. Now you could probably do this with a big ass vise, but I wouldn't recommend it. Like if you use any kind of an impact thing to beat them in with, it just knocks the guide off. So, okay, we are way up there. We're at 980. Okay, so we're going to use this one right here. Pushing the other another 80th hour or so more here. So go in full depth. Okay. Alright, put that one in there now. Now I'll go ahead and measure this, see how full it is now. Okay, we're about 875-ish right now. So that's slightly more than stock, so that gives it just a little bit more clearance. I don't know if you can read that at all, but it's in there. Where's the guide at? Can't tell what you're looking at. Alright, so we're going to use a little short stubby one, put in stock height. Now stock height shoves the guide further into the port, so it restricts the flow a little bit. So for racing, we don't care about valve guide life. We pull the guide out of the hole so it flows more air. There you go. The street bike we want to live, so we sacrifice. Okay, we're going to put the 1/over guide in there now. Now, I could have shoved the 1/over guide in the standard hole, but all that does is tear up the head. Now how tight the guide goes in a hole is strictly by a feel method, so it's hard to explain feel. I know when it's wrong, let's put it that way. Okay, we got same thing, kind of send this up. Okay, looks pretty centered. Go push on it. This will probably go in harder, hopefully. Flip our tool over. Noticeably more pressure than the intake. It feels like double the pressure. Okay, now if everything's good, the pushing tools come right off. When you wedge themselves on there, that means you collapse things. That's why I have a bolt hole in the end of this thread for yanking them out. Put a bolt in there and hit it with a punch. Okay, so there, that one's in there. Came out the other side. Pretty tight. So this definitely won't fall out of the exhaust. It's in there tighter than hell. The intake, actually, it's about half the pressure. It's in there adequately, but it's half the pressure. Alright. As long as you don't overheat the heads, you don't have a problem with guides coming out. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and pull these two out and do the same thing. See if this comes out better than the last one did. See what happens. Everyone's different. Take him out fairly easy. No gully marks, that's good. See if the exhaust is any better. Oh, that's tight. Same problem. Yep, same identical problem. Put some more spray on there. Back in there again. Try to get it out. Sometimes you gotta go back and forth a couple times, but ideally you don't want to do any of it. It's tight. This part of the guide here is good, but this isn't the part that's giving me problems. The other part down here is giving me the problems. I know it's screwing the hole up. When you heat the head up, it hasn't really helped me any doing that. Tends to make it stick more for me. The material's hot, it likes to stick more. So, not my preferred way of doing things. Looser this way. Got tight on that side too. I gotta see if it would push all the way through that way, but it stopped right there. It didn't want to go anymore. So they're not made to go that way. So you can see the gall marks on the guide stem in there, the O guide. Will be a mess. Do it again. What am I doing wrong? What? Oh, the guide's in further than it used to be. See, I tried to push it through, so now it's too far in. Through. That's half the effort of what it did before. So once it stopped galling, it comes out. It doesn't look that bad. You can see I was galling up a little bit, but it's not hardly bad at all. This one over here is a lot deeper, see? A lot more aluminum transfer. So all that starting and stopping kept it from getting worse. So when it was ready to come out, it came out. Until it was ready, it wasn't coming. If I kept forcing it, it would just wad up like a snowball and it would pull out a big chunk of the head right out. I've had them seen them crack the guide bosses before out, tear a big chunk of metal out the other side. It does a lot of damage. So when things start to be enforced, stop, back up. Come back, give it another shot. Things easy to free up. Okay, so I'm going to put the 1/over guide again in the exhaust, which means we're probably going pretty hard. But I want to make sure it's good and tight in there, not get loose. So at the intake you can get a little looseness, it won't hurt any, but it runs a lot cooler so it doesn't burn up as much. Let's knock that in there first. Moved over just slightly. Okay, try it again. Most of it's about 1.5 tons of pressure. So there you go. It's all in there. Didn't do any damage to the guide boss. All looks good. You never know it came out hard. Unless you watch the video, then you'll know. That might have been the good guide too. We don't remember. One exhaust was good, wasn't it? It wasn't new, but it was usable. This press fit lube helps a lot. Of course, you're not watching me because I'm not showing you anything. Okay. I had it over here like that as a bead on it. Just centered up and over here. That's off a little bit. That's why you pre-punch them in. Have less problem with valve guides breaking off. I think I've ever broken a valve guide off since I did it that way. That's probably why I do it this way. You can put things that work for you. Just under 1 ton of pressure. About 0.8 of a ton. Went in it relatively easily. So if you think 15 or about 1,600 pounds is easy, that's about how much pressure I think was on it. Okay, so that one went in there decently. Okay, so now these are all ready for honing. Okay, we'll get this mess all cleaned up. We'll be at the hone.